What is good, everybody? Trey here, and today, reactions to the classics. It is time for another reaction to The Weeknd, and not just a song reaction. We're going full album reaction today, checking out Beauty Behind the Madness. And I want to shout out our patron Alan for suggesting this to me today. My dad did a full album reaction to After Hours last month, and Alan's just gonna take us through a journey with the Weeknd's music, man, that I'm very much looking forward to. I only know a couple of the tracks on this album. I listened to After Hours, of course, one of the biggest records of 2020. Really enjoyed it, and now looking forward to going back into Abel's catalog here and seeing what we got, seeing what new songs that I am gonna fall in love with, and it's gonna be fun, y'all. So buckle up, get you a nice drink or snack, and let's get ready to hear what The Weeknd has in store on his second studio record, man. Before we get going into it, though, you like the video, y'all, be sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that big red subscribe button. We're on our way to 15K, man, and would appreciate your help with that. And no music in this video due to copyright, and I don't know, I'm just not a fan of cutting up just parts of the song in here. So there's going to be a link to Vimeo in the description if you want to check out the full meal deal and have the whole video with the music up in there. But enough talk, man. Let's get into the quick facts here. As I mentioned, his second studio record released in August of 2015. It debuted at #1, giving him his first #1 record. His 10th best-selling album worldwide in 2015. His debut, Kissland. After that, he started to pop up on a bunch of soundtracks, most notably Hunger Games: Catching Fire, which was just a massive movie, a few years back here. And then the song Love Me Harder was released as a duet between The Weeknd and one of my younger sister's favorite artists, Ariana Grande, and that became a big success. This record has a lot of acclaim, was ranked in the top 500 albums of all time on the new Rolling Stone list, won a couple AMAs, and won the Grammy Award for Best Urban Contemporary Album, nominated for Album of the Year, won the Juno Award for Album of the Year, and most streamed album in 1 year. It took the Guinness World Record in 2017. I don't know if it still holds that. I know Drake's numbers are ridiculous. Scorpion might have surpassed that, but at the time, man, that just shows you how acclaimed and popular this record is. So I'm looking forward to this. Let's get going into it, man. We're gonna start with Real Life up in here. I don't have research for every song here, but for a few, we'll drop some tidbits and facts on where it charted and whatnot. But let's start this record off here. I'm gonna have the lyrics pulled up as always for all of these tracks. Just kind of take it in and then give my thoughts at the end, and then at the very end, give my favorite songs and overall score of this record, man. So thank you again to Alan for suggesting this. Let's get our Weeknd on. Weeknd starting this off with Real Life, and just right off the bat, I appreciate the honesty coming through in this track. Abel's definitely wearing his heart on his sleeve here, and is not trying to gloss up his lifestyle and what he's what he's doing in his life, and he recognizes that mama called me destructive, said it ruined me one day because every woman that loved me, I seemed to push them away. And then we go into that chorus, man, where it kind of strips back some of the production. I thought the guitars at the start were a great touch, and then towards the end, where we got a little bit more melancholic, we upped those strings a little bit, which set the mood. And of course, especially in that first verse and the pre-chorus, getting huge Michael Jackson vibes on this, which I know The Weeknd is compared to all the time, and I mean you can see it in that first part. But like I said, man, that chorus kind of strips back a little, gets a little more mellow. That's real life, mama talking that real life. Is able to send forth a serious message here. Kind of setting those themes up. And he notes that I heard that love is a risk worth taking. I wouldn't know, never been that boy. It seems The Weeknd here hasn't fully gone into a relationship, wanting it to maybe last a lifetime, so to speak. But he's not making any apologies for that. He's saying, hey, man, that's just who I am at this point in my life. And I got some friends like that, man. And, it is what it is. I mean, not everybody's going to go down that straight line path, man. And I think the Weeknd's just honest with that. And, hey, maybe my mama doesn't like it and I still love her and respect that. But, hey, man, this is real life that I'm going through here. And, so I thought this was a fine way to start off the record, man. Already can tell how solid the production is. And we're going to go now to Losers. He's hopping on this track with Labyrinth, who is a British singer, songwriter, rapper, and record producer. He initially pursued a career in music production, but Simon Cowell, who a lot of people in the States know from his days in American Idol and just being ruthless to those people, signed him to a record label as a recording artist, and he became the first singer who Cowell signed without having competed on a talent show in 6 years. So he has a couple albums and is also in the group LSD. So let's see what we got here on Losers. All right, the Weeknd coming in, schooling us on Losers, kind of reading along here. Abel dropped out of high school at 17, so I think that's where some of that inspiration for this track obviously comes in with. And him and Labyrinth just kind of talk about those people that think they're qualified, so to speak, maybe because they have an education, and just talking about how they were following their dreams and hearts, man. They really go all in, and I respect people who do that and chase what they're after, just as the Weeknd did, man. And it obviously worked out for him. And he kind of touches on people who said, hey, maybe this isn't the wisest move, this or that, and now he's here and kind of at the top of the game, able to look and say, hey, you were wrong, I was kind of right here. And you don't need to be educated to make an impact, so to speak, man. And production wise, I could feel they were built into something, that first minute, and then boom, the beat dropped. Just exquisite. Love the beat drop there. And really enjoyed the horns at the end as well. Thought they added a nice texture to the track. And I thought his singing in particular was, again, really, really solid, man. And not to be a broken record, man, but those MJ vibes are definitely strong at certain points when he's able to really hit those high notes. It's impressive. And now we're going to number 3 on this list. Not list. I do top 10 list all the time. It's track 3 here. It's Tell Your Friends. It was written by him and Kanye West, one of my favorites of all time. Talking about dropouts here, college dropout, Mr. Kanye West himself. Contains samples from the 76 song Can't Stop Loving You by Soul Dog, and had a lot of success on the charts as well. Let's see what we got for this one. The Kanye produced Tell Your Friends, bringing it, man, and just enjoyed the Kanye production, of course, and I think that it worked quite well with what Abel was saying on this, man. I think that yet again, he's not gonna hide who he really is, man, and he's taking you into the good and kind of not bad parts of his life, but those parts that a lot of people maybe wouldn't be so open to sharing, man. The Weeknd doesn't care. He's out here, and I enjoyed the way he was able to kind of intermingle kind of his hedonistic side, popping pills, getting the women and the money and this and that, and kind of contrasting that with being homeless and just thinking about his old neighborhood and whatnot. I thought that was kind of well done. And again, I think that production really just heightens the track. I like it, especially in the last verse. It was all kind of muffled, almost like you're in another room where the party's going, and it's kind of quieter, and you were able to really hone in on the lyrics that he was saying, man. Had a little guitar work there. I see Mike Dean, also frequent Kanye collaborator, also did some production, had some guitar work that threw me back to kind of Devil in a New Dress from from Kanye, man. And all in all, man, another hit song in my estimation, man. I am enjoying kind of learning about the Weeknd story and kind of ideals through this, through these first few tracks. And we're going to go up now to track number 4. We have Often. It was the lead single, went to 59 in the US and 69 in Canada. All right, Often, the lead single, bringing it in, man. This has single written all over it. That hook, man, it just such a catchy tune. And yet again, that production, first 4 tracks, I know we're only 4 in, but production is an obvious highlight here. So polished and professional, and I mean, obviously, as you'd expect, but just man, you can tell a lot of thought went behind the beat on this one, man. And yet again, Weeknd just putting it all out there, man. I love it. And and yet again, why music is so cool, man, because you can just step into somebody else's world here. And I think we all have a friend like the Weeknd, or if not, we should, who's just kind of that not wild card, but the women, it's not an issue. I got a buddy like that through the years, man. Women wasn't an issue. Maybe partake in some substances every now and then, and I like the wordplay in the first verse. My God, White, he in my pocket. Obviously, talking about the nose candy cocaine here. He get me redder than the devil till I go nauseous. I thought that was just maybe the line of the song. I like the wordplay in that, man. But I think we all know that person who's just kind of a, I don't even know what you'd say, just kind of a man who's carpe diem, seizing the day, taking what he wants by the horns, essentially, man. And I love the chorus, man. She asked me if I do it every day. I said often. Asked me how many times she rode the wave. Not so often. And it was so catchy with the often wordplay, man. I enjoyed it, dude. I dug it. This definitely has a nice Friday night, Saturday night vibe to it. Just this whole record where you're just kind of ready to party and enjoy. And as this next track demonstrates here, The Hills, man, one of, as you heard a little snippet there, I mean, you couldn't escape this song back in the day, man. Second single, went to number 1 in the US and Canada, 3 in the UK. In May of 2019, it was certified diamond for selling more than 10 million copies, making it his first diamond certified record. While promoting After Hours, he claimed to have recorded 67 versions of the song. And Rolling Stone ranked it at number 11 on their top 50 songs of 2015. And yeah, man, it's even on the all-time chart for Billboard from 1958 to 2018. This is the 135th song on the Billboard chart, which when you think about that, how many songs and popularity there's been in that many decades to be at 135, that's pretty darn ridiculous, man. So let's enjoy this one, man. I just love the production on it. And again, talking about party type of tunes, this fits it, man. All right, The Hills, forever is going to be an absolute banger, man. I mean, that bass drop alone just is legendary. The Weeknd could have just come out with this, and we would have been happy, man. We would have been happy. Yet again, just kind of picking up on some of the themes of the previous songs. I mean, straight coming off of Often, and again, getting kind of to that heart where he's just being honest, saying, I don't really want that emotional, getting entrenched connection. I'm here for that physical aspect, and whether he's scared to commit, or just at this time doesn't want to go in with a full-on relationship. I mean, not everybody's like I said, man, not everybody goes out, looks for that love right away, that love happily ever after stuff. And especially at this point in the Weeknd's life, man, he notes, I think, a thematic statement for this record: when I'm effed up, that's the real me. I think that kind of sums it up right there. Just kind of painting that picture, going over, seeing this girl who's to kicking all the friends out, but the friends know what's going down. Abel, though, before he went with her, he already's been with 2 women, man. Come on now. Y'all heard off. And again, getting the drugs in there, drugs starting feeling like it's decaf. I'm just trying to live life for the moment. All these MFers want a relapse. They want him, how often is that? They build you up, man, but then whenever you start doing something different or start to tasting that success, they like to tear you back down and want you to be back on their level in a sense. And that's what I get from that. And then, of course, the bridge where the hills have eyes, is able to kind of switch gears a little bit and kind of go into the great high register voice that he has, man. And then we get one more beat drop in that chorus. Just a phenomenal tune, man, that I think will go down as one of the Weeknd's best and one of the better and the better tracks of the decade, man. And now we're gonna go to another track that was a single here. We have Acquainted, which was the final single here, the 5th one, and reached the top 100 in the US, UK, and Canada. All right, Acquainted, bringing it here. And enjoyed kind of the progression that the Weeknd's going through here a little bit, because here it seems like he maybe found somebody that maybe I am making a bit of an emotional connection to, which up to this point in the record we really haven't shown. We've seen the Weeknd just kind of shun that idea, and he's still shunning it a little bit here, but you can tell that maybe she's kind of going through that armor that he the Weeknd has put up, so to speak, and so he tries to kind of divert that, and the whole concept of I'm so glad we're acquainted. Well, I think this guy's an acquaintance. That's a step below being a friend, which is a step below being a lover. So he's still kind of keeping that distance here, but he says, quite simply in the chorus, to say that we're in love is dangerous, but girl, I'm so glad we're acquainted. So, maybe that love's brewing here a little bit. And, again, just kind of delving out how, how many different women, he's able to have this or that. But this one that he's with now might be a little bit more special. And then kind of reminded me too in this third verse here of real life, because mama called me crying because I won't find somebody that's real, because every time I try to run, the fast life keeps gaining on me. But ever since I met you, I couldn't believe what you did. So comfort me, babe, ain't no rush from me, babe. So I think that shows the most progression here from him as a person on this album at this point, because we're all, I think a lot of us are scared to like fully commit to somebody or kind of take that leap forward, because then that opens you up to the heartbreak, man. So it's easier to kind of just drink, have fun, have the casual relationship, and not have to worry about getting hurt at the end of the day, man. And so now we're gonna go to the halfway point on the record already. We got yet again a track that you just couldn't escape during this time. We have Can't Feel My Face, third single. This is where a lot of the comparisons to Michael Jackson came in. Billboard Rolling Stone ranked it best song of the year. It was also nominated for 2 Grammys, Record of the Year and Best Pop Solo Performance. And maybe he used up all his Grammy love since he didn't get a single nomination for After Hours, which just shows you all you need to know about the Grammys, man. The song experienced a bunch of commercial success, peaked at both one in the US and Canada, also peaked in New Zealand, Denmark, Ireland, South Africa, Mexico, top 10 singles in Australia, Netherlands, Norway, and the UK. That just shows you whenever you're peaking in all these countries, man, what an absolute hit you have. Multiple sources have interpreted the song to be about cocaine, including a reference to the Weeknd by himself in the track Reminder, saying, I just won a new award for a kid show, talking about a face numbing off a back of blow. Kind of reminds me of Lil Nas X's Old Town Road, which, had some lines, talking about lean and this and that. But, when you write a catchy chorus, people don't really dive in any more than that. And, hey, we'll get into Can't Feel My Face if you haven't heard it before. Buckle up. All right, Can't Feel My Face, man. Been a minute since I heard this track. Obviously heard it a bunch back in the day. Production, yet again, just exquisite on here. Love the bass in particular. And I think this, again, just highlights how the Weeknd's able to come out with such a smash hit, such a mainstream radio single, and yet keep. I mean, this fits in line with the themes that we've had up to this point on the record. And I mean, it's kind of right there with you, with the yeah, a bit more veiled and less overt than some of the previous tunes you had with the drug references. But I think it's quite clear. She told me don't worry about it. She told me don't worry no more. We both know we can't go without it. She told me you'll never be alone. So drawing Abel in with this, and then I can't feel my face with when I'm with you, but I love it. But I love it. And obviously, his singing is top notch on here. The chorus is just catchy as can be. Once you hear it one time, you got it memorized, ready to sing it. Goes really well with the beat, and But then those verses, man, bring that real kind of darker side. I know she'll be the death of me. At least we'll both be numb, and she'll always get the best of me. The worst is yet to come. How this won a Kids' Choice Award or whatever, that is just funny, man. But it again shows how Weeknd's able to be kind of true to himself and his artistry while still being able to churn out the big time hits, man. So yeah, just like The Hills, man. I think one of the better hits of the 2010s, and stands as one of the better pop tunes of the decade. And now we're gonna hook up some Shameless here, a very popular TV show. Let's see what the Weeknd song sounds like. All right, Shameless. Here, just from first listen, man, I'm getting kind of a just a casual relationship here, where now the girl is kind of being toyed with a little bit by the Weeknd right here, man. He notes in the chorus, I don't want to hurt you, but you live for the pain. I'm not trying to say it, but it's what you became. You want me to fix you, but it's never enough. So why you always call me? Because you're scared to be loved. So yet again, Weeknd kind of deflecting any blame, in this relationship, these casual encounters where maybe the girl's getting a little more emotionally invested, and having him constantly come over seems to be kind of that yo-yo of emotions. But the Weeknd's like, you know what? I'll always be there for you type of deal, even whenever he's not ready to yet again fully commit. Production wise, I thought the use of the acoustic guitar was really well done. You had this almost bittersweet melody going in there, and it fit the lyricism quite well. And then of course the electric guitar solo coming in at the end, just blistering, was fantastic. So good, it got me to sneeze, man. I tried to hold it in, but man, all in all, I like it. Kind of got a different bent. It sounds different than any other song on this album up to this point. And with an album that clocks in at over an hour, you kind of want that. And Weeknd's doing a good job of that. And now we're going to Earned It, 50 Shades of Grey, lead single from the soundtrack to the movie 50 Shades of Grey. Went to 3 in the US, becoming his first top 5 single. Went to 8 in Canada, 4 in the UK. So it seems like this is one of the first tracks to really kind of get his name out in the mainstream. It was nominated for Best Original Song at the Academy Awards and won the Grammy for Best R&B Performance. The Weeknd was involved in the project very early on. Tom McKay, a manager at Republic Records, explained he worked on a number of songs for a number of scenes. Some were working and some weren't, but he just kept at it and kept at it and kept at it. And this is what we got, man. So I actually don't know if I'm familiar with this one. Maybe once it gets going, I'll be like, oh, of course. But let's see what we got. As soon as those first orchestral strings hit, I was like, oh yeah, I know this track, man. I know this track. It it kind of fits that sexy nature of kind of the themes of the film, man. So definitely a good mash up there. And here we again showing a little difference from the other songs. Not only with the production, with the strings. I especially love when they really ramp up as the chorus goes in. But here he's seems like he's maybe not finding the one, but finding somebody who he's actually wanting to maybe talk to a little bit and look for more than just a casual, sexual encounter here. He says, I love when you call unexpected because I hate when the moment's expected. So I'ma care for you. you know the you use just were very catchy. That his cadence yet again was well done, and I thought I thought the production, man, it just hit the right notes, went up at the right time, and just the orchestration with a little bit more kind of heartfelt. Not that the other songs haven't been heartfelt, but a little more open track from the Weeknd here, opened himself up to this woman, man. I thought it just worked well, and it's no wonder this was a hit, man. Yet again, very catchy, very easy on the ears. Fits you know, kind of radio play quite nicely. And we're gonna go now to the fourth single from this record. We got "In the Night." Yet again, charted well in the U.S., Canada, UK, widely compared to MJ yet again. There's a quote from Rolling Stone magazine: "Sometimes the album stirs up real drama. In the Night could be just one more Dirty Diana-style ode to a predatory babe until we learn the woman in the song is a victim of abuse, dancing to relieve the pain." Ooh, so get your lyrics up for this one, y'all. Wow, what a powerful song. "In the Night" coming through here. Shoot, man, definitely one of my favorites of the record, that's for sure, just because of you know, how dark a story it you know, it truly is when you kind of read into the lyrics. I mean, obviously, you know, Abel's voice is just next level here. Love the MJ like register, and you know, beats upbeat, catchy, something you'd hear in the club or whatever. But whenever you dive into the lyricism, man, even from the verse, all alone she was living in a world without an end or beginning. Baby girl was living life for the feeling, but I don't mind, I don't mind. And all the wrongs she committed, she was numb and she was codependent. She was young and all she had was the city. And then we kind of get into the chorus where, okay, we get some of this darkness coming through. In the night she hears him calling, in the night she's dancing to relieve the pain. In the night when she comes crawling, dollar bills and tears keep falling down her face. And then, you know, maybe the darkest line in here, he sang a song when he did it, he was cold and he was so unforgiving. Now she dances to the song on the minute. So whenever she was abused, you know, as a kid, man, he sang a song while he did it. Now she's dancing to a song, you know, as a you know, as a dancer, as a stripper, whatever the case she may you know be. She's using her sex appeal to make money, and he knows she was young and she was forced to be a woman. You know, as somebody who has their degree in professional counseling, man, you do see and read a lot of cases like that where when unfortunately, you know, children are abused, whether it's sexually or you know, physical abuse, that you know, obviously just leaves a traumatic effect, and no kid should have to obviously go through that, and it's going to change you in some ways for the rest of your life. But sometimes people aren't so understanding about that. They see people in, you know, whatever the you know, the sex industry, and look down on them, and this and that, where you don't know what led that person, you know, down that path. And I think that you know, the Weeknd kind of brings that up, and it makes you think and brings forth those great discussion points, man. So shout out to the Weeknd for bringing this, man. This is one I'll be thinking about and revisiting for sure over time. And now we're gonna go. We have four songs left, y'all. We have "As You Are" coming up next. Let's see what we got coming in, man. And man, that outro had to be the highlight for me, man. Really kind of slowed things down, and just kind of got you in your feelings a little bit, man. Almost like when the party is over, and it's just you sitting there with your thoughts, man, and just that refrain, "Baby, won't you take me as I am, as I am?" Because at the end of the day, isn't that what we all want? We all want to be accepted and loved for who we are, as we are, faults and all. Which again, the Weeknd kind of delves out here a little bit, and I like the dichotomy in this, from the first verse and the second verse, talking about, you know, two people young and in love, got that fire within them. He notes, though, that even though you break my heart, I know what we are. Our love's too young. And then we switched to verse 2 where in the first verse he was like kind of wanting to be close, this and that. He just says, now it's just a phase in our little lie, we can sex all night. And then he says, but I'll break your heart, because I know what we are, my love's too young. So I think they're or at least the Weeknd himself is recognizing this is just a fling young love that though they were in the passion, in the heat of it all, it's not gonna last, man. And then we get that kind of emotional outro. I dug this one, man. I dug this one. And we only got 3 songs left. We're going to Dark Times, the Weeknd featuring a guy that it's no secret here if you're an RTTC regular, I'm not a fan of this dude. Mr. Ed Sheeran. Nothing against the guy personally. I'm just never been a fan of his music. Very one note for me, but I'm obviously in the minority in that regard. But let's see with some Weeknd production behind old Ed here if I lighten up to him at all. All right, Dark Times bringing it in here. We had Ed Sheeran starting it off, and it wasn't. I didn't hate his performance or anything, but I still didn't fall in love with with Ed Sheeran through this track. But that's okay, man, because I thought the production on here was again really, really well done. I enjoyed that almost a bluesy kind of dark guitar lick. The production was a bit dark in general, which fit the themes here. Again, you have both Ed and the Weeknd talking about just kind of their bouts and struggles mentally, kind of with the depression and coming off of a night of partying. They were both in fights, man. Weeknd says, I got another man's blood on my clothes, but it ain't his fault. It's the life I chose. Again, man, Weeknd ain't deflecting anything. He's putting all of it on himself, and then just how that mental state and being down kind of is gonna affect relationships. Knowing this ain't the right time for you to fall in love with me, my baby. I'm just being honest, that phrase, only my mother could love me for me in my dark times. And yet again, just we want to find that person that loves us in our worst and takes us for who we are. And sometimes it's only our mothers that can do that, man. Shout out to all the moms out there, man, who have loved us when maybe we shouldn't have been loved. But yeah, man, not gonna be a favorite for me on the record, man. But I can't hate on it too much. And now we're gonna go to another big time collab, the Weeknd with the great Lana Del Rey with Prisoner. Hitting the outro here. As Prisoner, our penultimate track, comes in, the power duo, Weeknd, Lana Del Rey, coming up with a hit in my ears, man. All the themes of the record coming to a head here in that chorus, which, again, the beat drops, and it's just a great set of lyrics, man. I'm a prisoner to my addiction. I'm addicted to a light that's so empty and so cold. I'm a prisoner to my decisions. And then you have Lana coming in here. Again, they're both just, again, quite honest, telling about their struggles with whether it's substances or relationships or whatever the case may be. It's still noted, though, I feel the rush, and it's amazing. You have those sultry vocals of Lana coming in, and they just kind of synergize with that production so well. And they know, too, maybe I've always been destined to end up in this place. I don't mean to come off as selfish, but I want it all. And you have Lana's final line, I don't know, I get so wrapped up in a world where nothing's as it seems, and real life is stranger than my dreams. Just kind of sums up the whole track right there. Lovely little power duo right there, and I definitely like that more than the Dark Times, the Ed Sheeran collab, man. And now we're gonna go to the final track, y'all. We have Angel. I believe that Alan actually brought this to a recent live stream. We do live streams over on Twitch. That way, you don't worry about copyright over there. and so be sure to follow us there, man, and enjoy that. But let's finish this off, man. See what Abel has in store for us here, and then at the end, I'll drop my favorite tracks and overall score to this really, really good album. All right, y'all. The epic beauty behind the madness, closing with one of my favorite tracks. What a closer, Angel, coming in here again, kind of a track that kind of gets you in the feels a little bit, and we see the Weeknd progress and you could say mature possibly a little bit here. Again, very self-reflective, knowing who he is, and kind of bringing in, as the name suggests, some religious themes in here. He says, all I can see your wings, but I know what I am in the life I live. Yeah, the life I live, and even though I sin, maybe we are born to live, but I know time will tell if we're meant for this. And then in that again, really sweet, catchy chorus, I hope you find somebody. I just thought that really resonated, and again, kind of struck an emotional chord, if you will. He knows that hey, you'll probably never take me back. And he says, I'm so desensitized to feeling these emotions. Yeah, he has no emotions, baby, and yet he's still out here saying, hey, I hope you find somebody good. And as in some previous songs, it felt like he didn't care, and he would just kick these women to the curb, so to speak, after they hooked up. Here he's kind of going in a little different direction, and then we had a bit of that choir at the end, that female voice coming in almost as that angelic figure. And yeah, man, a bit of a downer to end the record, but in a good way, if that makes any sense at all. And I guess speaking of that, y'all, we're gonna go now to my favorite tracks on here. 14 tunes, man. My favorites are I'm gonna be basic, and I gotta go with The Hills, just because I was already so familiar with that. That's just such an awesome tune. I'm gonna give some love to In the Night as well. I thought that had a very powerful message. Angel, our closer here, yet again. I enjoyed what Abel was doing with on that. I think the Kanye produced Tell Your Friends, great party track right there with some exquisite production, and of course Can't Feel My Face. I've heard it a ton, and yet it's still a great pop tune in there. And that'll go down to the overall thoughts on the album and score. Man, a lot to digest and unpack here. 14 tracks, a little over an hour. You could argue maybe a couple of these tunes could have been chopped, but I don't think that its length was a detriment. Whereas usually for me, when you get past the 50-minute mark on a record, man, it's sometimes a little tougher to hold the audience's attention for that long. But I think he was able to switch up his sound, whether it was putting in the acoustic guitar on a Shameless, I believe it was, to bringing the features in with Sheeran and Lana in particular, to going with these really kind of hedonistic party type of tracks, to going a little bit more reflective as well. So he kind of covered the gamut on here, and yet again, I like it because he's honest with who he is, and being able to switch from that R&B style to hitting that MJS voice with those high notes, to hitting a little hip hop flavor on certain tracks as well, man. All came together in just an expertly produced record. I gotta say, the production on this is just exquisite, fantastic. There's not a song on here that I didn't think was well produced. From we had everything from strings to acoustic and electric guitars to beats dropping at just the right time, man, to get you hyped up. So all in all, a really enjoyable record. I like this more than After Hours, the only other record I knew coming in from the Weeknd. So I'm gonna be at a strong 8 on this album after first listen, and definitely some tunes that are going to be added to my playlist here. And man, this just gets me fired up as we sit here in May 2021 and stuff starting to open back up. I definitely, as I'm sure many other do, want to see the Weeknd live and in person. Man, that would be really tight, really fun. And we ain't done with the Weeknd content on here. I believe House of Balloons is up up next by the suggestion for our patron Alan, man. And let me know your thoughts, though, on this record. Is it your favorite Weeknd album? If not, what is? Give me your favorite tunes down there, and be sure to give Alan some love for suggesting this. I know it was a long one, y'all, but it was fun. So until next time, thanks so much for watching. Happy listening, and I will see you.